Hello everybody and welcome back to the MTG Seal. We are starting with a new expansion with Magic the Gathering. We just had the Ixalan pre-release. I went to the midnight pre-release last night and played a few rounds. Went alright. I went 3-2. Unfortunately I didn't finish in the top 8, but it was fun. It's cool to try out the new cards, and I picked up the 2 Planeswalker packs, which we'll be opening up. This video, we'll just go ahead and scoot this over and start with Jace, and then I'll probably do, I believe it's pronounced Hautli, I'm not positive on that, I'm going to pronounce it Hautli I guess. We'll do hers in the second video. So during the pre-release weekend, which right now is Saturday, so it's still going on, tomorrow, Sunday, you can still purchase these at your local gaming store, and then you'll have to wait until the set actually releases, which will be this coming Friday. These are fun decks. They're for those of you who don't know, they're the replacement for the intro decks that used to be around. I don't know if people just thought there were more value with taking 2 Planeswalker decks versus what used to be 5 intro decks. I like to sleeve these foils as soon as I unpack them because they tend, oh there's bad glare there, they tend to bend very easily. But this is Jace's. These Planeswalker cards aren't meant to be competitive in the slightest. You got a 6 mana Jace. This is kind of nice, there's 2 +1 abilities. First one is to draw a card, second one is to untap all creatures you control, and his ultimate is a -9. You gain control of up to 3 target creatures, and he comes in at 5 loyalty points. You guys saw the packaging. And then these boxes are actually really nice because they fit sleeved cards, not just like in the old fat packs. It was just enough space to fit unsleeved cards. I think maybe only 60, maybe it was 80, I don't fully remember. But each one comes with 2 booster packs, Ixalan, since that is the set. A little information guide, also, I guess I should point out, quick reference guide. I don't think I've ever really shown one of these. If anyone hasn't used them before, they're kind of nice. It's the very basic get a game going, basically. Shows the phases of the game. They come in most every like pre-con deck. I believe they're in the dual decks, they're in even commanders, I'm fairly certain. I think, yeah, this is it. This is smaller little insert, if I remember correctly, from the Almond Cat ones. Just a little product placement, and then talks about Jace, playing the deck. With Jace's, I'll just go ahead and read that you're looking at a Merfolk tribe. Yeah, just some evasion, hexproof flying, and it'll probably come in kind of small, then use +1/+1 counters. So instead of assuming what the deck is going to be, let's look at the deck. When these first got released, the deck list, I looked through it, but I don't look too intensely. So start with the rares. I'll read off the rares and then just any other cards that I want to point out. Herald of Secret Streams, 3 mana for a 2/3, and creatures you control with +1/+1 counters can't be blocked. Fleet Swallower, 7 mana for 6/6, whenever it attacks, target player puts top half of his or her library rounded up into his or her graveyard. And then these 2 rares, I think these are, yeah, they are, I'm going to try to get this into frame here. I don't know if it'll be able to focus on it or not. If you can tell, the number is 282 out of 279, which means these are specifically printed for these Planeswalker decks. And usually they tutor the Planeswalker. For instance, this one's 5 mana. Return up 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. and then search your library and or graveyard for a card named Jace, Ingenious Mind Mage, reveal it, put it into your hand, and if you search your library you have to shuffle it. 2 copies of those to tutor out your Jace, and then we'll go through the rest. We got green, merfolk, more merfolk. I think if I remember correctly, I just looking briefly at the deck list a while back, a couple days ago, I liked, this is another, stop in the middle of that sentence, point out this is another one, 283 out of 279, that's purely in the Jace Planeswalker deck. But as I was saying, oh, I forget what I was saying now. Oh yeah, I was looking through the decks, and I think the Hautli maybe deck seemed a little bit more fun. Maybe it's just because they're dinosaurs and they're big crazy creatures. But looking through these cards, I know I'm going quick, and I apologize for that. You guys can definitely look them up on Wizard's website or whichever other website you prefer. Air Elemental is actually a great limited card, as I found out last night or this morning, whatever you want to choose. I mean, 5 mana for 4/4 flyer is great. And then we get to our lands, some woodland streams, and then basics after that. And then they usually have their non-creature spells coming up. Yep. Spread out some more +1/+1 counters. This is another. Last 4 are specific to the Planeswalker deck. Enchant creature, when it enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature, and it doesn't untap. So it stays on the battlefield, which a lot of these cards, you know what, in this video we'll go ahead and open up Hautli's as well. Why not? I went through that pretty quick. I'm going to do, I think maybe best out of 3 games. Maybe I'll just play 3 games. But I think I'd like to be able to show these decks off a little bit more than I have in the past. And for this set, I'm actually not purchasing a booster box like I have previously. It's just a lot of money to keep up with doing this sort of stuff, so I've also been trying to build more constructed decks, and so yeah, I went with a bundle, so I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do with everything. I think with these booster packs, instead of trying to buff the decks a little bit like I did previously, I'm going to just do 2 videos of pack wars with them, and I'll try to get them out as soon as possible before the end of the weekend, hopefully. That way you guys can see a little bit of just what some of the cards can do in the limited format, because draft weekend will be Friday, and that's a lot of fun. If you guys have never done that, you get a promo for doing it, you get draft experience, which this is my first, well, I just started drafting recently, so this will be my first like tribal set, so I don't know if it'll make it a little bit harder to draft if you're set on like dinosaurs or pirates and someone right beside of you is also set on that. It could be kind of hard to switch gears. I'm going to take a break from that to show off the Hautli Dinosaur Knight, 6 mana for a 4 loyalty point Planeswalker. You get a +2 to put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target dinosaur. Has to be a dinosaur you control. -3, target dinosaur you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Then -7, dinosaurs, so all dinosaurs you control get +4/+4 until end of turn. Let's grab a sleeve for that one as well. I do like the artwork on this one a lot. The foil on it makes it look really cool too. We got our Planeswalkers over there, and another nice little box. But as I was saying, draft weekend's really fun. It's kind of nice to do it right away, so if you're not too experienced like myself with drafting, it can make it a little bit easier, since not everyone has like a dead set plan set in motion. We'll look at this insert as well. Same thing on this side as Jace's, and then on this side, just kind of show it off a little bit. It talks about the Planeswalker playing the deck. Early in the game, use spells to destroy your opponent's small creatures, and basically just give you time to hit the battlefield with your huge dinosaurs that are going to be scary to someone who has small creatures and no removal. Oh, I guess the themes they highlight: double strike, flying, and vigilance. So you just want to bring them some pain, I guess, with board presence. There are, I believe, 2 cards in this set which can decrease the cost of your dinosaurs. Neither of them are legendary. I don't remember if they're both common or uncommon. One's common, I'm pretty sure, but they can decrease the cost of getting dinosaurs out, which is definitely helpful and can be devastating to your opponent to get these huge guys out real quick. So the first rare we have is Goring Ceratops. 7 mana for only a 3/3. It does have double strike, and the best part about this is that whenever it attacks other creatures you control, gains double strike until end of turn. Sunblessed Mount. This is the tutor card. It's a tutor creature. 5 mana for 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library and/or graveyard for a card named Hautli Dinosaur Knight. Reveal it, then put it into your hand. If you search your library, shuffle it. And Burning Sun's Avatar. This is an excellent rare, I think. 6 mana for a 6/6. That's kind of just normal by itself. But when it enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. So if it's by itself on the battlefield, or you don't want to activate an enrage ability, you don't have to trigger the 3 to the creature, but when it enters, it does the 3 to your opponent's face. This is one that I was talking about. Dinosaur spells you cast cost 1 less. It's 1 mana for a 0/3, so you'll get to defend for most likely 2 turns, maybe more. Only 1 copy in that. That's kind of unfortunate. Here's one of the Planeswalker deck cards. 2 mana for a 2/2 with vigilance. It's pretty nice. 3 copies. Oh, okay. For some reason, it's the second one in there. Mine are kind of all mixed, so we'll see how that goes. 2 mana for a 2/2 that can become a 3/3 if you have dinosaurs. Adds a little bit of aggression. Frenzied Raptor. So these aren't huge ones. I mean, 3 manas, 2 manas, a lot of that. I'm sure there's some larger ones in here, but it's a little bit more aggressive than I thought, just early game. Pterodon Knight can gain flying with dinosaurs. Okay, so yeah, nothing huge, really. I was expecting larger ones, I guess. When I looked at it, I know that I saw the Burning Sun's Avatar, and that's pretty much what I looked at. So yeah, here is another Planeswalker specific card, Planeswalker deck specific card. You get 1 mana for +2/+0, or if you have the Planeswalker, it gets +4 instead. It's not bad. Slash of Talons, take out some smaller creatures. Lightning Strike is back for some reason at uncommon level. I don't know if they thought they didn't want people with copious amounts of this in limited or what. I don't really know, but happy to have it back. I like burn spells, cheap, efficient burn spells. And then this one's actually really good. I like it a lot. Rallying Roar. I'll show it a little bit. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, plus you untap them. So I guess you could use it aggressively when you're attacking to deal some more damage and then have some defenders up. Or, of course, there's the combat trick. Opponent thinks you're all tapped out, so they maybe do an alpha strike with small creatures, and not only do your creatures get untapped, but they get untapped stronger than they were before. So those are our 2 Planeswalker decks. Here they are again. We will sleeve these up and play at least 2, maybe 3 games. You guys can check them out. Just see. I want you guys to be able to see if you think that it's worth the value. I buy them just because it's fun to play. It's fun to get foil Planeswalkers, even if they aren't going to be in any constructed decks or anything like that. But it's fun to play with them, and since I started this channel, it's an excuse for me to buy them, basically. And as far as all of you guys, if you see it played a few times, hopefully you can figure out, yeah, I think that'd be fun. You can buy it, do some upgrades. I'm not really sure. I don't think there's anything too crazy price-wise. The Planeswalkers are pretty high right now. The Carnage Tyrant, I believe it's called, is really expensive for standard. But once the set comes out, prices are going to drop. And then, once they see tournament play, they'll start to bounce around a little bit more. But for now, you can buy one of these and then probably be able to upgrade it fairly cheaply. And it can be a fun little standard deck you can use in some local gaming stores. So that's my rant on that, and we'll get these sleeved up and play them. Thanks for tuning in.